Welcome back to Wind Down with Kev. It's been a minute, but we're back. It's been a busy year. I became a business coach with Craig Wiggins Coaching. I published a book with JM Publishing, and I became a best-selling author. Definitely didn't see that one coming. I've been running around the country, speaking, traveling, and enjoying every minute. But now it's time to get back to podcasting. This is my favorite format for sharing amazing conversations with incredible people. Welcome to Season 4, Behind the Red Doors. Come on in, check it out. I have incredible guests lined up just for you. Welcome everybody. Wind Down with Kev. Season 4, Episode 2, Behind the Red Doors. So happy to have my guest today, all dressed in red, the wonderful attorney, Crystal Young, Esquire. Woo! Crystal, talk to the people. Tell them who you are. For anybody that doesn't know who you are, tell them who you are.
Well, first off, thank you, Kevin, for having me
Yes.
today. I'm very honored to be here. My name is Crystal Young. I am a real estate attorney. I am an author
Yes.
of a best-selling book.
Yes.
You too can be a homeowner.
Yes.
I am a mentor.
Yes.
I'm a friend. I'm a daughter. So yeah, I do. I do this thing called real estate.
Yes.
I represent buyers and sellers and banks. My passion is first-time home buyers.
Okay.
Yes, hence the book, You Too Can Be a Homeowner. There's so many people that are nervous to purchase their first home. They're scared to purchase their first home. So I wrote this book as a way to encourage them that, listen, you too can be a homeowner.
Yes.
We know on my Instagram, I'm showing, people celebrating and people that thought they couldn't purchase a home, they ultimately did it. So yeah, that's who I am.
Let's stay right there in this place and let's talk about it. And for those of you who don't know where we are in East Meadow, borderline Nassau, Suffolk County, 487 New Bridge Road. It's the Palace. You got to come and check it out. This is the place to be, and this where we are. But let's stay in that place talking about first-time home buyers. Why do you think people are afraid to take that step to buy a home?
Yeah, that's a really good question. Why people are afraid is because of what society tells us. Okay, the home, the upkeep, the down payment. Can I afford to purchase a home? They're nervous that, foreclosure, you hear about the economy right now and, the what ifs. If I lose my job, what happens? Will I be able to pay my mortgage? They don't know that there's mortgage insurance that you can take that protects you against missed payments. They don't know that you can put a minimum amount down in terms of a deposit, a down payment. They don't know about the grants that are available that help you with your down payment. So it's really the fear comes from the unknown. Their parents didn't own, and if their parents owned, their parents didn't show them or teach them, okay, so this is what you have to do. There's been no one to really walk them through that process. And that's why I'm so passionate about a first-time home buyer because, I know it can be done. I waited a very long time to purchase my first home when I could have done it years prior. I was representing people younger than me, significantly younger than me before I purchased my first home. And I would just always say, man, and I would still make excuses. Oh, well, they're married. Well, their parents maybe gave them some money. And I even made those excuses. So yes, there are a ton of reasons why people are afraid, but you shouldn't be afraid because there are programs out there and there's not one person out there. If you are breathing, you can own a home.
And what I love is I was trying to keep up with notes, but you dropped about 5 jewels for every fear, For every false evidence that's appearing real, every reason that people have not to buy,
Yeah.
you gave answers. Let me see what I caught. I caught low down payment.
Yes.
I caught grants. I caught special programs.
Yes.
What did I miss? What else is stopping people from taking that step, from going from renter to owner? What else is in the way?
Yeah, the convenience of renting.
Yes.
You mentioned renting. Renting is very convenient.
Yes.
You know every month that you pay this landlord, and God forbid there's a problem in the house. The toilet backs up.
Yes.
The roof caves in if you're renting a home. All I have to do is call the landlord.
Yes.
But just as you call your landlord, if you own a home, who do you call?
Yourself.
You call, you call a plumber. You
That's
call so same thing. And you can find a cost efficient professional to help you
Yes.
if necessary. So the fears are unwarranted,
Yes.
but I understand.
Yes.
Because this is what, the society sometimes imposes fear in us. You watch the news, and you just see we're in a recession. You watch the news, you see the interest rates,
Yes.
were 3% and now they're 6% or 5%, whatever they are, not realizing that, when my parents purchased their home, it was 14%.
Exactly.
Exactly. So, yes.
So regardless, people need to live indoors.
Yes.
And mortgages are very close to rent price. But I want to ask you something. In your book, wonderful book, best-selling authors, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't have it, the book, You Too Can Be a Homeowner, is right there. What we shared before we went on camera, you put your own personal story, your own journey to home ownership in the book. Talk about your journey from finally building the confidence. Talk about some of the fears that you had and overcame it.
Yeah, definitely. So I grew up in a home. My parents owned our home, but my parents, so it was mom and dad. My fear was that it's just me.
Yes.
How am I going to maintain this home? I used the fact that I was a female.
Yes.
And I'm not handy.
Yes.
I used the fact that it's just one income and what ifs. What if I lose my job? Will I lose my home? I used the fact that I was a paralegal for 10 years and I represented big banks in foreclosure proceedings.
Ooh.
So that in itself was enough for me never to want to purchase a home, because the borrower, the homeowner, would call and say, hey, we just got served with paperwork because, we stopped making mortgage payments. And they would tell me every reason why they were in foreclosure. They were in foreclosure because of a divorce. They were in foreclosure because of a job loss. They were in foreclosure. But the number one reason during that time, a lot of people were in foreclosure is because they weren't knowledgeable about the process and what they were signing at the closing table.
Absolutely.
So I worked in foreclosure during the mortgage crisis.
I knew I could time it by the conversation. You're talking 2008, 2009, when everybody
100%.
Qualified for everything.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden, the ARM mortgages showed up.
Yes.
And no one could pay it.
You're 100% correct. So that is why people went into foreclosure, because, and what is now an ARM mortgage. Now, this is an adjustable rate mortgage, an ARM loan, adjustable rate mortgage. For all you out there, adjustable rate mortgage is an ARM loan. And an ARM loan is a loan where you pay a certain interest rate to start, and then years later, maybe 5 or 6 or 7, 8, 10 years later, it then adjusts. And now your interest rate is much more or significantly more than what you were paying initially. And so now they realize, okay, well, I was comfortable paying $2,500 a month, and now it's jumped to $3,500 or $4,500 a month. and I wasn't prepared for it. I didn't plan for it.
Right.
And so that a lot of people during that time would end up in foreclosure. Now, it's not that easy to get a loan.
No.
As it was then.
Yes.
It's easy to get a loan in the sense that you have income, you have credit, then yes, you can get a loan. So we never want to discourage anyone because anyone would qualify for a loan, but just not as long as you have a pulse, like it was.
Right. Yeah. If you're
2008.
breathing, we'll make the rest of it
as
up.
As long as you can sign your name on the dotted line, you would, qualify essentially for a loan. And so that's, so that's my story. So now once I came out of foreclosure, I started to represent buyers and sellers, and a lot of them, like I said, were much younger than me at that time. And I'm like,
how are you doing?
I'm doing the math, and I'm like, yeah. And it actually took Ray Suris. I'm actually going to say his name, Ray Suris. He's like, why are you renting?
Nice.
And I'm like, this is someone I'm working with. He knows my income. I'm like, I don't know.
Yes.
I'm stuttering.
Yes.
And he's like, listen, enough is enough. You need to purchase a home. My mom would ask, mom say, when are you going to buy a home? I don't know. Maybe when I get married like you were when you got a home,
Yes.
So yeah, so having someone ask me,
Yes.
what are you doing? Wake up, purchase a home. That pushed me in the direction I almost needed and out, even though I had all the examples in the world to purchase a home. I'm representing all these clients that are now purchasing homes. I needed essentially a mentor to push me to purchase my first home.
I want to come back to that. I got to freeze that point because I want to ask you about mentorship. Thank you, Ray, for asking the right question. There's power in questions, especially when you verbalize your answer.
Yes.
And the excuse no longer sounds right when you say it out loud.
Exactly, 100%.
But let the people get to know you a little bit. You are Crystal Young, Esquire, attorney at law.
Yes.
Briefly, I heard you talk about your path to becoming a lawyer was not traditional.
Yes.
You didn't leave high school, go to a 4-year college, and immediately go to a 3-year law school. Talk to me about your journey to becoming a lawyer.
Yeah, it's a journey that I didn't expect for sure. So I wanted to be a child psychiatrist.
Wow.
That's what I wanted to do. My mom worked in a psychiatric ward for children.
Okay.
And
Wow.
In a hospital.
Wow.
And I just always admired what she would deal with regards to the children. It wasn't easy, but she did it, and she would tell me the stories, and it was, whoa, you're dealing with a lot, but that sounds interesting.
Right.
It sounds like something maybe I want to do. So after high school, I actually went to the University of Maryland at College Park.
Okay.
I went
Go Terrapins. Okay.
Right, exactly. Go Terrapins. So I went for 2 years. The summer after my second year, I came home and decided to stay home. I got a job that summer at 2 places. I worked in retail.
Okay.
And I also I got a job at a law firm.
Okay.
At the law firm, I was the bookkeeper's assistant. So they would send me to get snacks in the middle of the day. I would go to the bank and deposit checks. I opened all the files that were coming in.
You took the puffy journey.
Yes,
you
exactly.
You were the intern. You were running around.
Absolutely. And that was like my second job because I also worked in retail and I was doing that. So I did both jobs. I decided not to go back to school. I moved out of my parents' house. And I just worked both jobs. Working at the law firm, they then saw, okay, well, you're opening these files and going to get snacks. Someone just left, the paralegal assistant just left or got fired, whatever it was, right? Crystal, we need a spot. Go sit over there, And so now I'm a paralegal assistant. Paralegal leaves. Okay, you know what? And
Wow.
the paralegal supervisor leaves. Okay, Crystal, you're supervising. You're helping everyone anyway. So at that time, I said, you know what? I might as well go to law school because I've now hit the pinnacle of, being a paralegal. I'm
So let me take a time out. I got to stop you. You said I got to stop you sometime. Right place, right time.
Right.
There's so many people listening to this podcast right now that have had those opportunities,
right.
but maybe when they took that next bump,
right.
said, I can't be a supervisor. I never did it before.
Right.
What gave you the internal confidence that every time that it was offered that you were able to say, yes, I can do this?
I watched what everyone was doing, and I just believed I could do it.
Yes.
I said, well, what makes you different than me? And I was much younger than everyone at the firm too. But at some point, I was managing everyone that was, the youngest one managing everyone because, I just felt like I can do it. I never even looked at one of the attorneys like, oh, you're smarter. I remember a time I was on vacation and the attorney called me and said, Crystal, I got to go to court. I don't know what to say. And I'm like, what do you mean? I'm on vacation. I'm like, and I'm walking them through. I remember standing in the corner telling them what to say, what was going on the file, what the law, you're going to cite. And that's really what pushed me because I said, you know what? Every time I got the bump up, it was easy. I just felt that.
You're literally, there's 3 words I've been using lately. Competence, confidence, and consistency.
Right.
It sounds like every time you had an opportunity to do something,
right.
you realized, I'm competent, I'm good at it.
Right.
And as you became confident, more confident, and now you can be consistent.
Right, absolutely. That's really good. I love that. I have to use that.
No, that's it's a wonderful thing, and you have to be competent in something, and you're demonstrated, and you did it at several levels, and now you're getting paralegal pay.
Yes.
But you're doing lawyer work.
Yes. Exactly. And that's what pushed me to law school. Because I said, listen, I am doing all this work.
Yeah.
And they are showing up in court. And, and that's it.
Look in the
I'm
part.
doing all this paperwork and everything. I say, you know what? And by that time, 8 years into the firm, remember, I only had 2 years in college.
Right.
So I said, I knew at some point I would need to at least get my bachelor's because, it's like you need your degree. That's what I heard my whole, you get your degree. So it was like 8 years in, I went back to school. I went to SUNY Westbury. For 2 years to get my bachelor's. And once I went to SUNY Westbury, I was like, this is very easy.
Nice, nice.
And it was easy in the sense that I was motivated, and now I'm all these years older.
So you're not there to play now?
Yeah,
you don't care when the party is or none of it?
I'm working 2 jobs and I'm going to school at night. So at this point, there's no time. I'm in class, somebody want to play, I don't have time for it.
Yes.
I'm in and out, I'm not making friends.
Yes.
It's, in and out, and that's it. So I got through it. I went through the summer and everything to graduate early, and I did those 2 years. And at that point, I said, well, why not go to law school? It can't be that hard.
Keep going.
And listen, law school is not a walk in the park, but it's still, I had the mentality that I'm going to go in here, I'm not going to play. I still had the 2 jobs. I went at night, and I went through the summer so I could graduate early. I wasn't there to play.
Right.
So, so that's kind of like the story.
Which law school?
Toro.
Toro,
on Long
okay,
Island.
I know Toro.
Yeah, I chose one law school. I applied to one law school, not to say anyone should do this, but I chose one law school because I said, you know what, this is close to my house. I can't go, you could go wherever, you can apply all over, but I chose the law school that was closest to my house.
Geography.
So I can work, I can go to work, I can run the law school and then get home. And you gotta study law school, you gotta study pretty much every night and read your cases and everything. So I needed something that was very convenient. And Toro was an amazing school. I suggested to everyone, so yes.
I love it. So here you are, you've told us the story of the sacrifice, 2 jobs, law school, studying at night, no new friends, Drake all day, every day, no new friends at all. But fast forward to today, you are a master networker.
Thank you.
You're everywhere. You're everywhere. You're doing major things. You and I We share a publisher in common.
Yes, we
Good
do.
friend. Shout out to Jermaine Miller.
Jermaine Miller.
You know,
number
definitely.
one. Yes.
We sponsor networking events together.
Yes.
New
Love
York Real Estate Mixer. Shout out to Curtis.
Curtis.
And wherever I see you in the place to be, everybody knows you. You got a corner. You're signing books.
Yes.
But what I really love is your dominant presence on social media. Talk to me about how you created your style, because there is no other attorney that's doing what you're doing exactly the way you're doing it.
Oh, yeah. So I really appreciate that. I love networking, and number one. So, and I love that, you know, you're at the events, and same with you. So I want to give it back to you, Kevin. Everyone knows you when we go to these events, so we know that. So I appreciate you mentioning that. But the idea of the social media presence, you know, as an attorney, I wanted to be relatable. When you think of attorney, you think, you know, you watch the court shows and intimidating and, you know, all of that. That's not even my personality. And I'm like, at the end of the day, I wanted to be a child psychiatrist.
Right.
It's not like I was like, I want to be in the court and arguing these cases. No. And so I wanted to show my personality.
Yes.
And so as an attorney, sometimes I think we forget, like, oh, I'm an attorney, I gotta be, you know, the law.
Yes.
But we're doing real estate. People are buying homes
Yes.
and selling homes. This is a fun time, especially for a first-time home buyer. I know what it feels like to
Yes.
buy your first home. So that's how it kind of came about. Really, it came about, I had one client, we took just a picture and I posted, and I was nervous because, you know, with attorneys, they say you can't advertise and you can't, you know, and you can't. And there's all these things that they tell you you can't do without a disclaimer or a disclosure or this or that. You know, and so as social media is coming, I'm like, I don't know if I could post, or she needs to sign something. And I said, you know what, I'm gonna stop driving myself crazy.
Yes.
So when the boomerang came out, I said, okay, we're gonna do a little more than a picture. Then it turned into a boomerang. Then it turned into, well, what song do you like?
Yes.
Do you like a song? You know, and then you take the song and you attach it to the song. And then it turned into, in the caption, the acknowledgement of the person that put the deal together, because this has nothing to do with me. When someone's purchasing a home, they don't start with the attorney.
No.
They start, you need a pre-approval when you purchase a home. So shout out to all the mortgage lenders out there.
Yes.
And that's number one. And then number two, you need a phenomenal real estate agent.
Yes.
So shout out to all the real estate agents that are out there that are putting these deals together. The attorney comes for the contract.
Yes.
So you've already dealt with these two phenomenal professionals.
Yes.
Your mortgage lender, even your home inspector, before you even get to me.
Yes.
So I want to shout you out the fact that they trust me enough to work with, you know, me as their attorney. You could work with any. There's thousands and thousands of attorneys out there, and you're choosing me. So I made sure that the post was celebrating the client, where we're doing the boomerang and putting it to their favorite song. And then in the caption, we got to shout out the people that put this deal together. Because if it wasn't for you guys, there would be no Crystal doing any of these deals.
It doesn't happen. So, Crystal, you said boomerang. I know what it is, but some people in the audience might not know what the boomerang is. So, what is the boomerang that you speak of?
So, Boomerang is an app, really, and so or a feature. It's a feature on Instagram. It's the app for it, but it's a picture, a moving video, and it goes forward and then backwards. So if we're shooting, if you look at my Instagram, we shoot money guns.
Yes.
You know, when you close in my office, we shoot a money gun, and you'll see the money shooting out of the gun, and then it reverts back into the gun. So it's kind of like a cool feature. And so that's the boomerang. So, you know, it's not like I created the app or anything or the feature, but I saw it and I started to use it as like, that's kind of like my signature. So whoever created that feature, shout out to you. I would love to continue to shout you out.
Let me ask the obvious. Your office is in Melville.
Yes, it is.
Right off the expressway.
Yes, it is.
How did your office receive you bringing the boomerang and the music and the beats and the money game to the office? Because I never been there, but that wasn't there before Crystal Young got there. So how was that received?
No, it wasn't. You know what? And now shout out to Ray Suris again.
Okay.
Now, Ray Suris owns the law firm.
Okay.
And Ray Suris is a phenomenal entrepreneur. He is a business professional. He owns the law firm, and the law firm has attorneys that handle various types of law. When I came there, I wanted to do personal injury, actually.
Okay.
I had done
Okay.
years in real estate, and I said, you know what? Let's find out about this personal injury, because he has a huge personal injury
Absolutely.
practice. Slip and falls, car accidents, all
Every
of that.
day,
I'm like,
every
teach
day.
me, I want to learn this, you know? And so I started in that. The real estate followed me. So as the real estate followed me, I started to, I run the real estate department. So we created this team and all of that. Ray is such an entrepreneur and businessman. There's no question as to, if I'm successful, he's successful,
Yes,
right?
yes.
And that's what makes a great leader.
Yes.
Because he saw that, listen, that's, you're doing something on social media no one's doing, so it's setting you apart. His friends and colleagues would even say, you know what, I saw Crystal. Guess what I see in the background? I see,
Ray's in the mix?
I see, yeah, I see the Suris, in the background and all of that. So it's like, one person's success is another person's success, particularly in business. When you're working with people and you have colleagues, you want to always support what they're doing, because that's only going to bring success to you. So he's such a savvy businessman that he was able to see that and never once question, Crystal, why are you bringing a money gun, or what's the music you choose, or anything like that. He encourages it. He says, Crystal, you keep it going. And that's what has helped me even get to where I am today, because of the support.
The support of Ray. So let's
Yes.
talk about one of the words I wrote down. I only wrote 10 words down for the interview. One of the words I wrote down is mentorship. And earlier you said you're a mentor.
Yes.
So I wanted you to talk about two things. It sounds like Ray Suris is definitely a mentor in your life.
Yes.
I want you to talk about the value of a mentor and what Ray's meant to your career. Then I want you to tell me about mentorship, what you're doing now.
Yeah, mentorship is so important. One, you need someone to see value that you have, but they need to almost speak it into you. People see, like Kevin, I see things in you that you possess,
Right.
but you almost sometimes need someone to say it to you.
Right.
And so that's the importance of having a mentor. A mentor is also someone that you can bounce things off of. A mentor is someone that has been through it, and you go to them and you say, well, listen, I know you've been through this, so what do you think? And it just helps you to avoid the mistakes you would have
Yes.
made if you didn't have a mentor.
Yes.
So that's the importance of having a mentor. And now I'm a mentor of Big Brothers, Big Sisters.
Let's go.
And so my shout out to Nyana. Nyana is my mentee with Big Brothers, Big Sisters. We've been matched since she was 12 years old. She's 16, about to be 17.
Let's go.
Just went out to dinner last week. She was telling me about colleges. She's telling me, she's like, one of my girlfriends she's in 11th grade. She said, my girlfriend in 11th grade just got into Columbia. She's going to skip the 12th grade.
Wow.
And yes.
Ivy League, recognize
Yes,
that.
absolutely, which is so beautiful. So then it opens up the conversation. Okay, well, where are you going to go? What do you want to do? She actually wants to be a writer. So, which is beautiful, because we have publishers. So when
Yes.
you're ready for your book,
Yes.
we got it.
Yes.
We have the publisher. So it's just so beautiful, because you get to, give her that exposure that she may have not had.
Right.
Has she seen or ever even communicated with an attorney. She's going to be 17, you know. When do you have the opportunity, unless you're in trouble, to even speak to an attorney? Now you see there's an attorney. It don't make me no different from you because I have ESQ behind my name.
Right.
So now she can be confident when she's with doctors and lawyers and professionals that, you know what, well, my with Big Brothers Big Sisters is cool.
Yes.
And she's a professional. So it's just very important to have, you know, a good mentor, because it gives you that exposure that you would have not had if not for that mentor. So
what I love is you said you took her to dinner, and some people may process that as a simple thing, but we take it for granted. In business, we get to go to a lot of nice places.
Yes.
I have a thing in my office where I'll say we're going to treat customers and give them 5-star service. But then I had to dial back because I had to make sure that once in a while I took my staff to have 5-star service. So you taking a 16, soon to be 17-year-old to dinner, wherever y'all went.
Right.
Y'all sat down and someone bought her a meal.
Yes.
And she sees how you interact with the waiters, the waitress. Those are life skills that she's picking up that they don't teach in school.
That's the truth. That is 100% the truth, because there's so many things that I'm like, man, if I had this, like growing up, I had, you know, a beautiful childhood. Shout out to mom and dad.
Yes.
But there's things that like she gets to experience. I'm like, man, we didn't. And it's a different time too. So the things that the kids get to experience now weren't even available when I was growing up. You know, not to tell my age. So
you are right. I'm not asking. I got a couple of bullets left. That's not in the gun.
Yes.
We not asking that.
Okay, good.
So a couple of things that I do have written down that I went through your IG page. I talk about what you post about. I'd like to hear about your law of gratitude. And 21, you were posting about your book club. Is that still going, or was that just something that brought a group of people together before you published and everything that just let people read some things in common?
Yeah, I love that you asked that. We'll start with the book club. And then that's going to take us into gratitude as well, because the book club has helped with that. The book club we started when they shut everything down.
Got it.
It started because I always wanted a bookcase, like a huge bookcase with a ladder. I don't know. I saw one day, long time ago, and that's what I wanted. And so I bought one, and I had maybe, I don't know, 20 books on it. And then not even one. There's two big ones.
That's not the whole vision.
There's two big ones. And so
we're showing the picture right here of you in front of the beautiful bookcase.
In front of the bookcase, yes. And so maybe 20 books, I don't know, max, with some roller skates on the bottom shelf and some, just to kind of, you know, make it look like it has stuff on it. And so I posted a picture, and it's like, you know, they shut everything down, so now we have more time. So right now what I, you know, those random pictures, do you post anymore? I don't know. But I posted random picture. I had an abundance of time. A woman that I represented when she purchased her first home, who her and I became friends, her name is Valessa. She says in the comments, she said, oh, you should start a book club.
Are you serious?
And that's what I mean by people can see things or say things in you that, like, you kind of know,
right? But
you need someone else to say it and
you
push you.
Just those words have power.
That's it. You should start a book club. I said, well, I'll do it if you do it with me.
Nice.
And so what happened is we chose a book, and at that time, you know, it was like a lot going on. So we chose a book outside of what we're doing now. Now we're concentrating on books with regard to personal development, motivation, things that are empowering, that are business books that are going to push you in the direction of success.
Yes.
And mentally, spiritually, all of that. Jermaine Miller, who is actually the publisher, has been our guide as we moved into the realm of the motivational books, because that's his wheelhouse.
Yes.
That's his thing. And so I went to him and I said, Jermaine, I need some books for this book club.
Yes.
And he gave us a ton of suggestions. We branched off and did a study group that he ran for a period of time. But this started in 2020 just by someone saying, hey, you should start a book club. Now the book club has expanded. It's myself, Sabine Franco,
nice,
and Angie Thomas, the three of us, along with some amazing book club members. It's called the Infinite Mindset Book Club. We meet on Sundays at 10 a.m. virtually, and we read 1 or 2 chapters every week. And we just come in, we talk about the chapters. We have a host every week. And it's just beautiful. There's some amazing people with some amazing ideas, viewpoints. People come on and they're crying, they're being transparent. It's beautiful. So yeah, I just love it. So passionate about the Infinite Mindset Book Club.
Infinite Mindset. So let's wrap by talking. We started with the book. Let's finish with it. How has becoming an author changed your life?
Oh, geez. This book has gotten me into rooms that I probably would not have otherwise been in. Why? Because I'm a real estate attorney.
Yes.
So if you need a real estate attorney, I'm the one to call. You need a someone to represent you in the purchase, the sale of your home. But this book now has changed my title to author.
Yes.
Not changed, but added to the attorney title as an author. Now I'm speaking in schools.
Yes.
Schools are saying, well, you know what? The kids have never met an author. So it don't matter what you write. We need an author to come in and talk about the book writing process.
Yes.
So it's brought me there, and I love kids and I love being in schools, and I would have never otherwise maybe had that opportunity. It's allowed me to become the authority in what I do.
Yes.
So now when a real estate agent says, well, I have the attorney for you, and she wrote the book about being a first-time home buyer.
Yes.
So now I'm the authority in terms of, who you want to work with as, your real estate attorney. Well, my real estate attorney is an author also and wrote the book on being a first-time home buyer.
Say that.
So it's really set me apart in my profession, and has put me in rooms that I would have not often been in. So I'm really enjoying this journey, and so yeah.
So let's let people know where they can find you, and close out by telling us what's next. What should people expect next?
Oh, I love that. Okay, so my name is Crystal Young. I am a real estate attorney and author, best-selling author.
Yes, you better add that.
Yes. On IG, you can find me at crystal.younglaw. I'm also on Facebook, Crystal Young. I have a business page, Crystal Young ESQ. You can find me on LinkedIn, Crystal Young ESQ. What's next for me? I'm going to continue to promote my book. I have another book coming out. You are the first to know about it here on this podcast. So yeah, I'm just going to continue to do that. I'm going to continue to motivate, be a mentor. I'm going to continue to, push people in on their home ownership journey. And I'm just going to continue to smile, do my boomerangs.
Let's go.
Push you, Kevin, and your greatness.
Yes.
And everyone out there. So thank you so much for having me. I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you for coming behind the red door, being at the podcast. She said it all. I have nothing to add to it, nothing to take away from it. If you're not following her already, on the bottom third of the screen, you will see her name where you can find her on social media. First-time home buyers, if you're thinking about it, if you're scared, don't be scared. Go ahead and talk to her, find that lender, find the realtor, but you already have your attorney. Ladies and gentlemen, Crystal Young, Esquire.
Thank you.